I'm on a roll today, so I'm going to do my October favorites. Now, to be honest, last couple of days I was thinking about my October favorites, and I thought, well, I don't know. I didn't seem to have used a lot of stuff in October, and I didn't think I had much to share. But it turns out that I have quite a bit to share. So I'm going to do the progression where I'm going to talk about, I'll get the decks out of the way, and then, so I'll get the decks out of the way and anything witchy-like. I'm looking around and I'm thinking, oh, there it is. Decks and witchy consumables out of the way, and then if you don't want to hear about thrift and cosmetics, then you could just stop watching. So I'll try to make it organized that way. I will try. Can't promise, because I sometimes get distracted. I distract myself. Okay, let me just put this down here so it's not in the way of what it is I want to share with you. All right. So, there's some things, but I shared them in a previous video, so it doesn't matter. Okay. Focus. Let's begin. So, for decks, October. Yeah, I've already shown you the decks that I was working with, but if you didn't watch those videos, I'll show them again. So, most of the month of October, I spent with this deck, and it's my Raven Prophecy Tarot. These are the backs. It's a Llewellyn deck. I have to say the cardstock is really different on this one from my other Llewellyn decks. It's actually quite nice. It's like playing cards. Nice. And I edged mine. This is the only deck I've edged with distressed ink so far. And this is Rusty Hinge. And it's just because it was like, you know, it was oh god, that was good. My daughter dabbed. All right, so this was the deck I used most of October, and this is a deck that I mentioned before. It was not love at first sight. It actually was what the fuck at first sight, and it's become, seriously, it's one of my favorites. It's in my top 5 for sure. And surprisingly, if you've been watching me for 5 minutes, you must be wondering, what the hell, Grace? You didn't modify this one? No, I only edged it because I actually love this muted burnt orange border. I actually love it. But I have, oh my god, seriously. I love this tarot. I think it's wonderful for mundane readings, like day-to-day issues or problems or concerns or whatever. It's great for spiritual readings. It's great for readings if you're a creative person to do a reading on your creativity. It's a great deck for checking your magical work or guiding you in your magical work. No, this surprised me. I probably, in my previous video, the VR to Lady Knight of Avalon, I should have mentioned that this was a deck that pleasantly surprised me, because at first I thought it was cute. It's with use that I've really grown to love it. And yeah, so October, I didn't bring out all my Peggy bags, but I went a little Peggy bag crazy. Yeah. This was the first Peggy bag I ordered that I went like completely gaga over. And yeah, it houses my Raven's Prophecy Tarot. And it's, you know, it's full, this bag, this is her standard size bags. Again, not sponsored, just obsessed. This is the standard size bag, and look, it fits the deck. This is a Llewellyn deck, and it fits it like full. It sits nicely at the bottom of the bag. Okay, next. Of course, with my Raven's Prophecy Tarot, of course, because I mentioned in other videos, I use the Raven's Wand Oracle. I'm still on the fence about this one. I think the artwork is beautiful, and it gives some interesting insights. I just feel like this is a thing that I love it for its beauty, mainly for, like, this is superficial. Like, this is superficial love. I love this deck because it's beautiful. I didn't get any profound insights from it, but I'm also in a place where I hit or miss with the profound. So, but it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And I'm going to put it away and haul it back out probably in the winter. In the coming winter to use again. So it's not going to go away until next fall. This is going to go away for a little bit because I want to work with other decks that I've had for a long time. So that's the Raven's Wand Oracle, and I really enjoyed using it this past October. I'm going to try to keep us moving right along. All right, scusi, I have to have some coffee. Last week of October, I did a video about it, and I used my Halloween tarot. This will always come out every year. This year it came out a little later than it normally does. I think it's because I was enjoying working with my Raven's Prophecy Tarot so much, I lost track of time. But I love this. It's adorable. This is the one that I've had forever. Like, this is when I got this one, it was only available like in this box, right? There was no box set with the book. I don't know if the book offers more than what's in the little white book, and I colored my little white book. Seriously, I'm a child. I don't care. It makes me happy. See, anyway. If I didn't own this one, honestly, I'd be all over that little one in the tin. It's so cute. So yeah, if I didn't already own this one, I would get the Halloween Tarot in the tin because it's adorable. It's Rider-Waite imagery. It does add, like I said in a previous video, it does add an extra layer. Like, it does give you it gives you, it shows you something else, right? And I like that about this deck. So I used this most of October. I love it. It is a deck, though, that I did notice over the years and years and years that I've had it, that it only does make an appearance in October. Sometimes in July, like around my birthday, the end of July is when it makes an appearance, and that's just because I have summer fatigue, because it's hot as hell here in the summer. Thankfully it's dry, but it's hot as hell, and when I have summer fatigue, I pull out my Halloween Tarot. And then this old hoary chestnut. I'm sorry. This is was a long road with this one, and this is a bag I've had for years and years and years, and I put my little Halloween oracle in here because it literally is a little Halloween oracle. If you haven't seen that video, I trimmed it right down. I mean, like, and this one was not an easy trim. This one required measuring, required trimming a bit off the bottom, a bit off the top. It was the printing. It looks exact when it has the black borders. It's only when you go to trim it that you see that's a little problematic. But now that I've taken the keywords off, I love it. I love it. And I don't know if I'll be pulling this one out before next Halloween. Maybe, maybe not. But for now it goes back in its box. I really don't need this giant box for it anymore. But it turns out that I do, well, I'm still referring occasionally to this guidebook because sometimes there's a little kernel in there that I can use. So, yeah. And come on. So, I'm going to keep it in the box. And it was a gift from my lovey. And, yeah. All right. The next deck, or yeah, book and deck set I'm going to show you is something I scored from the thrift store, and it was either at really early in October or late in September. I can't remember. And it's this Gold and Silver Guardian Angels by Angela McGurr. And this has that linen bound kind of box. And in my video, when I scored these at the thrift store, I tell a whole story about the lady behind the counter was an employee, not the owner of the store. She discouraged me into counting all 140 to make sure that all 144 cards were here. Took it home. There were 16 cards missing. So there's a whole video, not a whole video dedicated to, but a whole video that I dedicated to that thrift store shopping spree. And I went on Amazon and I did score this one, which appears to be the same book. It is the same book and card set, but this is smooth. It's not that, right? And it appears to be newer, but it also appears to be in worse shape than the one that I got at the thrift store, at the secondhand bookstore. The book is identical to the book in the other kit. This, I'm going to have to do a recount, but instead of 144, seem to have 157 cards. So, I may have just counted wrong, but I'm hoping that this is a complete card set, and then basically I'll keep the linen finish of this one, and then I could, if this is a complete, once I have the complete card set, then I'm going to work with this in December to see what I think of it. And I'm really looking forward to it. So this was a happy find that I found in October and arrived in October, and I'll be trying it out. And I'll be keeping you posted on how it goes. So those are my decks. So now I'm going to move along to witchy consumables, if you want to call them that. Oh no, before, my favorite Halloween decor things. Now, I have my everyday Halloween. Well, it's not really everyday Halloween, but it's just like I have stuff that's out all year round that's not specifically for Halloween. But there are some things that every year I'm happy to see, and ooh, I'm going to pause because I forgot someone. Hang on. I'm back, and now I'm ready. Okay, so first the Halloweenies. So I've had this one for 10 years. And I remember when I got it. And I remember how much I paid for it because it was outrageous for what it is. But considering that I have been using it 10 years, I'm thinking that it wasn't too bad. I paid it full price at Michael's, and I always, because I don't know if it was because I didn't know about the coupon back then or all that stuff, but yeah, it's an electric candle. I love it. All of October, it sits in, I have an antique cabinet in my living room where I keep, it's an antique cabinet with a glass door where I keep my crystals, my oils and herbs and all this stuff, right? And so I keep this guy, and I keep him, and I light him up at night all of October. And it gives a nice orange glow inside, nice safe orange glow inside the cabinet. So, but then consumables? No, we'll stick with Halloween. Then there's two Halloweenies that come out every year, and the first one is my buddy Scooby. I have had Scooby a very long Okay, so he's motion activated, and I guess because he's facing the. I honestly don't know why he's talking because he's facing the camera and there's nothing moving. Um, I love him. I've had I've had him. I want to say I've had him since 1999. Yeah, I think I've had him 20 years. And I'm always careful. Every year after Halloween, the batteries get removed. I remove the batteries. See, that's the motion sensor. The batteries are removed, and he sits on my. Okay, buddy, that's enough. I turned it off. Okay, he's done. Yeah, I don't know why he was going on and on and on like that because frankly there was nothing that was moving in front of the motion sensor. Okay. So yeah, like I was saying before he interrupted me, every year I make sure after Halloween is over that I remove the batteries and he sits on my bookshelf until the following year. He's very hard plastic. I love him. Anyway, so as you could tell. And another Halloweeny that comes out, and I've had this candle. This candle has seen now 21 Halloweens. Those of you who follow me on Instagram or Facebook have seen this photo. It was lit up at Halloween. I have had this candle for 21 Halloweens. It was originally like this, but not warped, right? It was a cylindrical candle. It was this tall. I got it. Smells like crayon. I got it at a dollar store. I paid $1 for it 21 years ago. Every Halloween, for 21 Halloweens, I light it at sundown and I snuff it out at midnight. When I first got it, like the first year when I first bought it, I brought it home and I dressed it with oils and everything, and I did a ritual and and all this stuff. But I haven't done it since. And year round, it sits in my little witchy cabinet that I described with the glass door with my herbs and oils and everything else. And I just haul it out on October 31st. And 2 nights ago was the 21st time I did that. And I snuffed it out, and I'm pretty sure I'll be able to light it next year. I'm trying to see if you could see the wick. I think the wick may have been submerged a bit in the wax. So I may have to dig it out a little bit next year. Or not. Like I said. And I told myself that the day that I can no longer light it, when the wick is gone, I'll just drop one of those electric tea lights into it, and I will keep this forever because this thing it's been with me so long. Yeah. So that's the Halloweenies. My October consumables in terms of candle and incense. One of them, I must have tossed the packaging. It was pumpkin spice incense by Moonwise. And Moonwise was the brand of products that Mélange Magique used to make. And those of you who are from Montreal, it's Mélange Magique that was on St. Catherine Street when they had, between Guy and Peel. Right next door to CJAD radio. Anyway. So I must have tossed the packaging. So that was the first pumpkin spice incense that I used. And then I picked up this one. And this is Ganesh sticks. And I picked this up in a town, a couple of towns over from me, in one of those, not quite dollar stores. One of those, it looks like a 5 and dime store, honestly. And it's kind of strange. It's got a little bit of groceries and craft supplies and not underwear, but socks, and it's really cute. And they have quite a variety of this brand. And I think this brand is also sold at Walmart. I'm not sure. Anyways, I don't know if it's because I'm fed up of it, if I'm tired of it, but right now it just smells like burnt spices. It's like I think I'm just done with this one. and I'll just put it away till next year. And my Moonwise one that I was using until I used it up had also lost a bit of its potency in terms of fragrance, and probably because I had it too long. But yeah, it's like, so I enjoyed this. I enjoyed probably half the package in October, but right now it's like I've had enough. And the candle that's on my altar right now, and that's my window altar, is this one. And there's like just this much left that's burning right now. And it's this one. And it's Better Homes and Gardens Spiced Pumpkin Pie. I buy this every year. I don't even know if they sell this in Canada. And to be honest, it's because I don't even try. Because I've been to the Walmart in my town, and I'll go to the candle section and they never have this one. So what we did was, a couple of weeks ago we went cross-border shopping in Washington State, and I picked this up at the Walmart in the States. And I like it. Although, again, I don't know if it's fatigue because I burnt the whole one like in October, right? I don't know if it's fatigue or anything like that, but it doesn't smell as good to me anymore. And I think I'm just, again, it's fatigue, right? It's like I need to burn something else. And every fall I go down and I pick up 2 of these, and I keep this one in reserve in case I want to burn it, this fragrance again in November. I'm American. I was born in the United States, and I live in Canada, and my husband's Canadian. My children were born here. But we really celebrate American Thanksgiving. So if I'm feeling like I need spiced pumpkin pie candle later on this month before I switch to, and I think Douglas fir and cinnamon are the 2 that I buy for the winter. Okay, so that's it for the consumables. Next is going to be thrift store finds, favorite thrift store finds, and some of them, and one more consumable, pumpkin spice tea. This is from Tim Hortons. I like this one. I also like it year round. It doesn't taste like pumpkin pie. It doesn't even taste like pumpkin. It just has. It's just spicy. And I like spicy tea. I like, in the evening I like to have a cup of either Bengal spice or apple cinnamon or this one, and I'll drink this one year round. And my husband's awesome. He'll go to a Tim Hortons and buy like 6 boxes sometime. The previous years he's like stocked up big, right? But yeah. Now I'm just going to pause again because I forgot some things that I got thrift that I wanted to share with you. And with the magic of the pause button, I'm back. Okay, so the next items I'm going to share with you are my thrift store finds, my favorite thrift store finds for the month of October. And then I'll show you cosmetics and thrift store finds, kind of there's fragrances involved that were thrift store finds. So if that's not your thing, I understand. You don't have to watch till the end. One other thing I want to mention, because in terms of crystals and that I've been really using a lot in October, one of them is I was wearing my garnet because I needed grounding. And also this bracelet I wore a lot this month. One, because, well, the obvious amber and black beads, right? Halloween. But no, this is amber and jet. And this was made by my sorella Donna, who makes beautiful jewelry, and a lot of the jewelry that I wear is jewelry that she made. And I'll make sure to tell you when it is, but I'm not right now. The only jewelry I'm wearing that she made is this, and this for protection, amber jet, just was one of my favorite things this month to wear. I have to be careful though, because it's gotten really big. Just like if you're attentive, if you're astute, you may have noticed I'm wearing my wedding ring on my middle finger. It's just that with my regime, my rings have gotten like really loose, and I don't wear them. I can't wear them like to work or anything like that because I'll lose them. And the same thing with this bracelet, like it just slips right off. So I gotta be careful. But anyway, I digress. Let's talk about my thrift store finds, because this recent, I didn't go thrifting a lot. I did score. I had shown you my statue of Saint Joseph and La Pietà in a previous video. Other things I scored thrift this month were, believe it or not, some witchy astrology books. And none other than another Linda Goodman sun sign. I couldn't leave it there. It was $1. It's, which printing is this? I think this is the 10th printing, whereas my original one that I keep in here is the first printing. And I have a hardcover. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang on to this one. I think it's a 10th printing. I'm not sure if it's this or the other book that's a 10th printing. But I may at some point decide to do a giveaway, and I thought, well, I might do like a vintage kind of giveaway, right? So there's that. And this one. And this is actually the same one that I used to have in the 80s. And the one on my shelf right now is one I got later because I lent it to a friend and never got it back. So, and this I paid $2, which is like pretty decent because, it was at the Women's Shelter thrift store here in my town. And, $1 for this, $2 for this, I think is quite decent. Because when you go to a secondhand bookstore, you can end up paying like $10 for this. Or even $16.95, depending where you go. Or depending on the store. But like for that happens a lot. And the same day, right at the counter, was this bag, and it's like, what's in there? So I opened it up, and it had like a price tag of $3, and runes. And I recognize these runes, like the sound, the texture. This is, I can't remember the author's name. Oh, this one's chipped too. That's pretty cool. I can't remember the author's name. But it comes with these, I gave mine to my daughter that came in a velvet bag, these same kind of runes. And I made sure to count them to make sure they were all there before I bought it. And I got it for $3. And I don't remember the author's name, but it's a very common book and rune set that's sold. I think it's even a bestseller on Amazon, and not the best book available on runes, but $3. I think this is the second set of runes that find me. I'm thinking it's time to go back to working with them. I haven't worked with them in ages, so it's time to, two cute things. First, this thing. I'm pretty sure this is either Polish or Russian. For whatever it is, I'm sure it's Slavic, because I have a bracelet that has the same art painted on it, the same style of art, and it was given to me by someone close to me who is of Russian descent. So I love this thing. It's this really varnished wooden tray. Ooh. And yeah, so I'll be using that. And then the last thing, before I get into the cosmetics, in case you want to drop off, that's okay, is this guy. So I found him. Of course, I checked the toy bin. Okay, I always check the toy bin when I go to Salvation Army or Value Village. And this guy was at Salvation Army, and he was extremely, extremely loved. His neck was like, he couldn't, his head couldn't hold his head up. So the stuffing was all like, out of his neck, and he needed a little wash. And my eldest daughter gave him a wash, restuffed him, so now he holds his head up high. I love that he's missing a little eyebrow or eyelid. I think it's a little eyebrow that he's missing, and he looks so kind. Look at him. Look at him. Doesn't he look kind? So I didn't know this about myself until I looked around at things that I have and things that I own and decks that I own, that I actually have a thing for dragons. And for the longest time, not for the longest, no, okay, for the longest time, for quite a while I had the Celtic Dragon Tarot on my wish list. And the only thing that stopped me from getting it was because the wands and swords are reversed in terms of elements, and I think that would trip me up. But I love the artwork on it, so I might just leave it on my wish list. Okay. Hence why I squeed. All right. Cosmetics. No, it's not a beauty channel, but I use, it's part of my daily life, so I'm going to share it anyway. So the two items that I scored at Thrift that really thrilled me, and if you've been watching me for 5 minutes, you probably know I've mentioned my vintage perfume collection, and like I said, it's not museum vintage, it's thrift store and thrift store. Okay, it's thrift store and what am I saying? Drugstore, hand-me-downs, that kind of perfume. It's not a collection. It's not a niche collection. It's not high-end. It's an emotional collection. It's a sentimental collection. It's fragrances. It's that bring me back to a different time. I love to, time travel through fragrance. I love vintage perfume. So one that I got is not that vintage, but it is out of production in this bottle, and it's Organza Indecence or Organza Indecence, and it's a tiny little bottle. I think it's a 15 milliliter bottle. I got it for like $6. This smells like vanilla, leather, and wood. A little bit of smoke. Dead sexy. Beautiful when it's really cold outside, when it's cold and crisp. And I'm pretty happy because it smells of those things: vanilla, leather, smoke, and wood. And the other one that I scored that surprised me, because I had been watching video. I don't just I guess like a lot of you, I don't just watch tarot videos. I watch YouTube channels of people who are like vintage collectors or live vintage lifestyles, like modern day live vintage lifestyles in the clothing that they wear and the makeup and all this stuff, right? So I'm totally into that scene as a voyeur or voyeuse. Anyway, and I scored, and this surprised me because the same place where I scored the books and the runes, I scored a bottle of My Sin by Lanvin. Now, My Sin, first of all, this is a vintage bottle. This is not a new bottle. And I'm guessing at the very least it's the 1970s. It could even be earlier, but I'm guessing it's 1970s. And this is a fragrance that was first created in 1924. Don't quote me because I might be like off by a year either side. And it's very, very similar. Like if I were to compare it to something, it would be Chanel number 5, the original. And I'm just like, just thrilled because in the 80s I wore Arpège, which is also made by Lanvin. And I had gotten a recent formulation of Arpège, and it was quite harsh. So now that I have my sin, I'm hopeful that I'll be able to score a bottle of Arpège, a similar bottle of Arpège in this similar packaging. This is my sin Eau de Lanvin, and it's still, again, even if it at the youngest, even if this is from the 70s, that's still 40 something years ago. It smells fantastic. It doesn't smell like it's gone off or anything. Whereas modern day fragrances, you buy a bottle of Chloe or something like that, and that fruity floral concoction goes to shit like after 3 years. It's rank. So yeah, that's why I love my vintage perfume. I don't know, maybe at some point I might do a tour of my vintage perfume collection, because that in fact is a collection. There's at least 100 bottles in there, but I haven't decided yet because I don't know if anybody's interested, right? So my favorites that I've been using in October. So I'll start with makeup. I guess if you're watching me, you know that I don't really wear that much makeup on the daily, but this is my new favorite mascara. It is Voluminous Lash Paradise. This is a perfect dupe of Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara for a fraction of the cost, because this on sale is like $10.99. I even think I got it $8.99 once. But when it's on sale, it's like a $10 mascara. Even the tube is copycat Too Faced Better Than Sex. And in case you're wondering, so is the wand. Very, very similar. This is, I don't have great lashes. I have very fine baby hair. I have a lot of it, but it's fine hair. And my eyebrows, as you could see, are not exactly, bushy. And I have short, fine lashes. And this does pretty decent. I have some on today. Like, of course, I don't know if you could see, but when I was younger, I obsessed over the fact that I didn't have the long, luscious lashes like my cousins did. And, well, now I'm 51 years old. I don't give a shit. I'm just happy. This does the job. I love that it doesn't flake. It doesn't, I don't get the raccoon eyes. I've had this on all day, and you don't see a shadow under my eyes from the mascara. And it washes off like a dream. Like, at the end of the day, my most not favorite part of the day is washing my makeup off, and I'm glad that this washes off pretty easily. The other three products, makeup products that I'm going to feature are like my favorite lip products. I don't think I ever mentioned my favorite lipsticks. Maybe not. Anyway, so there's for years and years and years and years, I was very dramatic kind of makeup look. When I was younger, it was classic red lipstick, matte. I'm talking, Max Russian red, Ruby Woo, but mostly Russian red. When I wasn't working, or even like when I was younger, even when I was working, and then and then as I've gotten older, my style has changed. Also, when I was younger, most of my like teens, 20s, 30s, and even 40s, I had different hair colors. Changed my hair color frequently. Hair was generally short. So those of you who know me in real life, you're seeing me right now probably for the first time since you've known me with long hair. And this is the longest I've ever had my hair as an adult. So, and this is all natural. The only thing that's the ends is what's left of what I bleached, what was bleached hair a couple of years ago. But this is all au naturel. So with the shift in hair and all that stuff, I then shifted to a different makeup style. And it's, as I've gotten older, I've shifted more to a natural makeup look for day to day, like, you know, like the no makeup makeup. And then when I'm going out and stuff like that, I still love eyeshadow and like doing the full blown thing, but not for day to day. For day to day, all the time, my favorite lip gloss lip balm is Lip Spacker, and this is strawberry. I have been using, and I love when I can get the giant size, because as you can see, it is giant size. So I'll compare it to a lipstick. Yeah. I've been using Strawberry Lip Smacker, I want to say, since I was in grade 5. And so this fall and winter is strawberry. And I alternated with vanilla. It's a whole thing. I love my lip smackers. And this one gives a little bit of shine and color to my lips, if, you know, without a mirror, if I just have to like smear it on to, you know, whatever. This is, and the next lip products are higher end. This one, I kept the box to show you because or else I wasn't going to remember what it was called. It's Marc Jacobs Enamored. And it's the lip gloss in a stick. This one is, oh my god, this one is One Mauve Time. This is a cool tone mauve. So if your coloring is like mine, you might like this one. This one goes on pretty natural. It has a little bit of a very slight minty scent. And I really like it. It's spendy, like it's crazy expensive. It's not something that I get all the time, but also one of these lasts me like 6 months. And I do try to get it with either 20% off or, you know, for Christmas, you know, hint hint to my family. My family will get me one of these for Christmas, and it's, you know, and then the lipstick in a stick that I really like is NARS, and the shade is called Damage, and you'll see a theme because it's pretty much the same kind of shade. It's a mauve. This is like a sheer purple, and it goes on mauve, and it's what I normally wear, and it just looks like my natural lip color because all it does is enhance my natural lip color. So that's the lip products. The fragrances I've been using the most in October as my daily fragrance is my one and only true love of all time, and it's Coty Wild Musk. This one I wanted to show you because this is a solid from the 1970s, and it still smells amazing. And you know, I keep things like, you know, I have a cupboard where I keep all this stuff and whatever, and of course if something's gone rank I'll toss it, but no, this still smells amazing. You do this. It's just my favorite. I have quite a bit of not quite a bit because it's my supplies are dwindling, but this is the Coty Wild Musk that's currently available in North America that I know of, and it's similar, but it's not the same as the vintage, and that's just the way it is. But this is what my daily, you know, my daily fragrance, what I really love. And the other one that I love, that I don't wear to work because it's not work appropriate, is from the 1980s, and it's Obsession. Obsession smells like leather, vanilla, a little bit of cinnamon. I love it. It's classic. A little bit goes a long way, which is why this is a bottle I've had from the 1980s. Look at that. Seriously, like this is atomic. And the last thing, if you're still with me, my last favorite thing in October was I scored this hairbrush at Dollarama. Dollarama is a Canadian dollar store, and this is the wet brush. It's supposed to be safe to use on wet hair to detangle. I find it a little harsh on wet hair, but I'll use it on dry hair. And I just look at this. How cute is this? So yeah. So those are my. That was my October favorites, or these were my favorites and favorite things in October. Sorry. And like it was strange. Like when I was thinking about doing this video, I thought, oh, I didn't use that much stuff in October, and I don't have anything to share. And it turns out that I had quite a bit to share because it's 46 minutes and I'm still talking. All right. Well, thank you so much. If you're still here, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you and have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.